Hi, I'm Thomas Johnson, and this is the How May I Serve You podcast. I'm the founder and CEO of GetUpNGetFit Wellness Concierge. I'm also a C-suite advisor and investor, and you're listening to, like I said, How May I Serve You, where I'm constantly on the quest to surround myself with the best coaches while learning how to better serve our executive clientele by asking them, how may I serve you? Today's show is sponsored by Get Up and Get Fit. And Get Up and Get Fit will be providing students with textbooks and school supplies in Cambodia in honor of our guests today, as well as our philanthropic mission to impact at least 50,000 people per year. And today's guest is I'm over butchering your name already. Sarah Hodges.
I have like the easiest name on the planet.
Yeah.
I've butchered so many names though that was karma. Like that, that was karma. I've messed up so many names, so it's totally okay. Yeah, I'm Sarah Hodges. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So Sarah Hodges is a certified coach, speaker, and creator of the A+ method for sustainability solutions. The powerful A method helps clients get out of their own way to excel in business and thrive in life. Sarah has also developed the Hodges Leadership Institute, an online on-demand leadership EQ training program. Ooh, EQ. Okay. All right. So Sarah, listen, let's dive into things right now. I want to learn more about you. So tell us a little bit more about who you are, the 2-minute version.
All right. Well, people always laugh when I tell them I'm a former opera singer.
Really?
I started my journey opera singing in New York City, and then I ended up having a lot of really crazy twists and turns that happened in my life unexpectedly. I ended up gaining and losing 90 pounds.
Wow.
I changed my career completely and became a personal trainer. And I was actually working 6 jobs for a while in New York, like that typical starving artist, you know.
Okay.
It was pretty wild, but I was such a nerd throughout it all. I was like that student when I was a kid, and always wanting to learn new things, dive deep into science, even though I was a musician. And that really came out on this journey. I wanted to understand how I lost that 90 pounds, how I kept it off, what I did that was different than other people who tend to yo-yo. And I kind of experimented on this with a lot of my clients as a personal trainer. And then I
Okay.
went into more wellness coaching because I started to realize through my research and advanced certifications, as I really tried to understand this, that it came from my mindset. And that I approached it in a really proprietary way.
Okay.
Later, when I became certified with the Neuro Leadership Institute, I understood more about the brain and how the brain and my thoughts impacted my weight loss, both physiologically, just naturally because I reduced my stress. Weight tends to come off when you reduce your stress.
There you
And
go.
also because I shifted that mindset. And that later became my A+ method. So I'm doing the wellness thing. This is already very long. My little brother dies of cancer. I was very
Wow.
upset about wellness and the human body. He was a super fit guy, but I just didn't want to do the wellness thing for a while. I kept my business, I kept my clients, but I went into finance for a while, and I was doing investor relations and financial advising. It was a very weird time in my life. That's like not my thing at all. But I realized how I could bring the A+ method to the corporate world and help with, you know, really any sort of sustainable change that people wanted to make. The A+ method was applicable. It didn't just have to be about weight or wellness, although people do end up having a stronger sense of well-being. So I rebranded my company and became Hodges Coaching, where it was
Okay.
formerly Interform. And I used the A+ method in the corporate world, and it went gangbusters. And I got referral after referral, and thousands of coaching conversations later, it's now my most tested and well-respected method. And I'm actually starting to train other coaches in it now.
That's awesome right there. Yeah, normally I ask the question, why did you get into coaching? But you just share that with us right now. So
Yeah.
who do you coach primarily though?
I primarily coach CEOs, leaders. Occasionally, they have me coach kind of that problem person, but usually that problem person they're a problem as a result of the systemic issues or the
Mhm.
relationships within the organization, not so much because they're a problem as an individual.
Yeah.
I also work with entire organizations to look for systemic issues. Some other proprietary work that we do is called our conversation algorithms, and it's how we
Okay.
can have conversations with people where their brains are open and receptive to hearing the other person's opinion and be solutions driven. We also have our stress matrix, which is where we evaluate companies on in terms of systemic stress, social stress, and personal stress. And that helps companies really understand where there are some issues with their culture.
Got it. Got it. So you
Yeah.
basically just focus on companies, right? So basically B2B.
Yeah, it's B2B. It's companies, but we also do individuals. I also coach a whole family right now, parents
Oh,
and
okay.
children, all individually. So I do a lot of kind of life coaching, you could call it, but the methods that I use are the same across the board, no matter what I'm talking to people about or who I'm talking to, because
Okay.
really what it comes down to is that sustainable growth that the A+ method facilitates.
Okay. Okay. So I know there are so many different type of coaching
Yeah.
methods, right? And coaches out there. How would you describe your type of coaching?
Well, so the premise of the A+ method is that we believe everyone is walking around with a overflowing chronic stress bucket, right?
Okay.
Like a lot of people we're living under chronic stress, an onslaught of what we see in the news, COVID, obviously, like we are in a very stressful time in this world. And a lot of coaches come in and they say, "Hey, let's set some goals." And what we believe is that, especially when you go to a high performing executive, that's like giving crack to an addict. So you end up putting like a fire hose in their stress bucket, right? It's like, we're going to get up and start working out every day. Okay, but why weren't you in the first place, right? And
Mm,
that actually could be, if it's too much, it could overflow the stress bucket. So
mm,
what we teach our
true.
clients to do through acceptance and awareness is to drain the stress bucket first. That's where the mindset shift happens. And
Okay.
then the second phase is adapt and assure. And that's where we teach them how to set goals that are not stress inducing, that build
Okay.
slowly over time, that are sustainable, and how to put assurances into place, whether it is sticky notes or a workout buddy, or a buddy at work, or a conversation that they have to put those assurances into place to keep them going. And then it's a feedback loop, right? Because you don't always have success the first time around. So then we revisit it, drain the stress bucket some more, and then take on those new goals in a way that is not stress inducing.
Got it. Got it. So do you also try to figure out your client's learning style? Because I know everyone breaks up and receive information differently, right? Do you use that during your assessment process?
I really don't use learning style assessments too much during the process because the method that I use is inquiry based. So,
Okay.
as a coach, I primarily just ask questions. And
Of
really the art is in asking the right question that is going to
course.
generate the biggest insight, and
Yes,
then
indeed.
building on that insight so they're motivated. So,
Okay.
that has less to do with learning styles than just really tuning in to what the person's ultimately looking for and desiring.
Okay. Okay. So if someone were looking for a coach, right, what traits would you advise for them to look for?
Mm, I would say that they're gonna have to interview several coaches,
Mm-hmm.
and really the ultimate thing you're looking for, and this may sound cheesy, is that you want someone who you feel really safe with. Like, if
Mm,
you find yourself feeling like, "Man, this person doesn't display an ounce of judgment. I could tell this person anything, and they're still going to see the best in me and help me be the best that I can be, and, like, they're gonna hold my goals for me even when I lose track." Like, when you have that kind of trust and rapport, just, like, immediate, that's probably the right coach for you. It can be a little like dating.
that's true. I've heard this analogy a few times. Coaches like dating because you have to try different people out, right? You have to
Yeah,
not experiment, but you have to go through the different trials, ask specific questions. So you're
yeah,
right. You're right. Okay. Okay.
yeah.
So now is storytelling time, right? This is like my favorite part of the whole podcast. I want you to give me a 2 to 3 minute story where you worked with one of your clients and you helped them overcome some type of obstacle. Basically, like a success story,
Yeah, yeah. A personal obstacle or a business
a
obstacle?
business obstacle, correct?
All right, I'm gonna come up with this on the fly. So, I have a lot of clients who work with me, and they're not quite the CEO, they're just like one level below,
Okay,
or they're
mid-level.
working with a leadership team and they don't have complete authority, right? They have to get along with other people on their leadership team and someone else is the ultimate decision maker. And that can be a really difficult place to be in, especially if you have some conflicting values.
Mm,
And so I had someone who was working with me who was like one level below that, and she was really struggling with some of the conflicting values on the team. And she was looking at the situation through her own lens of, and the lens was telling a story. So I guess my storytelling here is about telling stories. Okay.
okay.
She was telling a story about why this leader was showing up the way they were showing up, telling
Mm,
a story about why they weren't coming to her meetings, why they weren't checking in more often. And she was thinking, they just don't care. They're checked out. They don't, give a crap about my, job performance, or I don't really have a future here. And we coached about that and we changed the story in her mind and said it could be numerous reasons. Maybe this individual just trusts you so much that they don't even worry about it and they're waiting for you to come to them when you have a problem. And
okay.
so I invited her to instead reach out to that leader and say, hey, I imagine that you probably are wondering what's happening in my department. Would you like it to set up a meeting and I can brief you on that? Within 1 month, she got a humongous promotion.
Wow.
All along. I mean, like a promotion to like as high as you can climb in that company without being the leader.
Yeah.
All that time, that person, the leader just trusted her so implicitly to do her job. And then once she even communicated and confirmed with that leader that she had been doing her job so well, it developed more trust and she was able to get a major promotion. And the moral of the story here is that we tell ourselves stories
Yes,
and
we
they keep us
do.
stuck. They keep us stuck, right? And the power of coaching is often that I can see your bullshit. I can see the story that you're telling yourself that's keeping you stuck, and create a space that's safe enough to help you see it too without you feeling threatened or stupid or ashamed of it.
You
And
know what?
then we
Mhm.
figure out an action plan, right?
Yes, yes, indeed. That's a great story right there, because not only were you able to help her get out of her own way, but she sh- basically like showed initiative, right? So her leader, right, her supervisor was looking for that, right? And
Mhm.
just by showing initiative, she was able to get that little jump in her position,
Oh, it was a big
and
jump,
you're
but
right, big
yes.
that jump in her position. So 'cause that's one thing leaders look for.
Yep.
They look for employees that takes initiative,
Mm.
and just by you being her coach and guiding her towards that direction, you guys were able to accomplish that. So kudos to
Yeah.
you and her, right? So you also get, your flowers as well, all right? So
Yeah. I do feel like I can live vicariously through my clients once in a while.
there you go. So Sarah, what drives you though?
My daughter.
Okay,
Honestly,
okay.
I wanna pave a world for her where the expectation is that every organization has an amazing culture where people
Hmm.
feel psychologically safe and can thrive and use their highest brain performance at work, where people can operate from a place of their strengths and, their values are respected, their boundaries are respected.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm able to do that for companies. And I want to do that for as many companies as possible so that we talked about being an aunt and uncle prior to this podcast. So
Yes,
she and,
indeed.
my nieces and nephews and your nieces and nephews are in a world where they want to go to work, because look at what's happening right now. We have so many jobs available and people don't want them because
True.
nobody wants to like sell their souls for a paycheck. And even if that paycheck is high, a lot of people are saying it's just not worth it. Well, that's a culture issue, and I
Mm,
believe that, I know I've already seen it. I can change that. And that's really empowering.
there you go. It's like the ripple effect, right?
Hmm.
One ripple spreads out, and you're making that ripple right now. You are not only affecting but impacting so many people through your coaching. So just keep
Yeah.
that up. Keep that up.
Thanks.
So, are you currently working on any new projects that you can share with us? Any new books? Any new
Oh my gosh.
new programs? Talk to me.
Yeah, I'm creating a certification for the A plus method so
Okay.
that other coaches can come and receive that certification, understand how we utilize that method because it gets unbelievable results. It gets faster results than traditional coaching and more sustainable results. And I want to share that with the world. I'm also working on a companion book. I have a couple of other
Mm,
books that I'm working on
okay.
for other IP. We have a new website that's going to be coming out in a week or so. So be on the lookout for that. We always have more projects and we're scaling faster than we can handle, mostly because I have a new idea every day. My poor team. Sorry, guys. but
You sound just like
um,
me.
right? Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. But yeah, I love it. And I love just coming up with more tools that can help people. So we are always posting new courses and new certifications. But for any coaches who are out there watching who want to know how to use the A plus method, please reach out and I'll get you on our list so that you're first to see when we launch.
Got you, got you. Another question. So, as a coach and as a leader, how do you keep your peace of mind on top of everything? Like, how do you make sure your peace of mind is not being jeopardized?
Well, honestly, I practice everything
Okay,
that I preach. I practice it on myself first. And our one of our most important values is self-leadership. And so
okay,
I'm always making sure I'm leading myself, living from a place of self-awareness, self-compassion, self-governance, self-validation, like um all of our aspects of self-leadership that we teach I practice and I try to practice that with my team every day. Our values are all around compassion and being completely authentic. And
okay.
I try to show up that way in every area of my life. And then to be honest, I practice what I preach. I have a coach. I have a therapist.
There
I
you
have all
go.
those things that I need and
Uh-huh.
mostly my therapist is to keep me in tip-top shape, right? Mentally so that I can not be distracted by my stuff when I'm coaching someone else. So I have as much clarity as possible. Same thing with my coach. So yeah, I do what I tell people to do because I know
That's
it
awesome
works.
right there. That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
what does your typical day look like from the time you get up in the morning? Do you have certain routines that you follow in the morning and the afternoon? Um, do you mind sharing that with
Yeah.
us?
Yeah, absolutely. So I get up in the morning. Usually my child wakes me up. She's going to be 2 at the end of the month. And depending on how early that is, I am
Okay.
either trying to I'm getting my IV of coffee out and I am choosing between an educational TV show or another educational TV show. But most of the time, it's a blend of reading to her and really taking that time to connect with her while we both nourish our bodies. And with food, or she'll have some whole milk. I have some water. My favorite thing is doing mommy and me yoga with her. So,
Really? Okay.
yeah, and I just moved, so I have to get back into the routine, to be honest. But it's so much fun. Like she's starting to mimic me as a toddler now, and she does cat and camel with me in the morning. So cute. So then I take her to daycare and I come into the office
Okay.
and I am coaching or having a meeting or doing a podcast or creating content basically until I leave at 4. I bring a pre-made salad to work. I know you want to know the wellness things too, and eat that.
I'm just
Um,
curious.
yeah, sure. No, it's fine. I know where you're at. So then I pick her up early, and basically the rest of the evening is mommy and Grace time. Like that is it. It is mommy and Grace time from 4 p.m. until she goes to bed,
Okay.
and then after mommy and Grace time, I usually connect with a friend, and we talk on the phone or whatever it might be. With Grace, I might go for a walk. Sometimes I go for a walk during the day here to get some movement in.
Mm-hmm.
And then after I put her to bed and connect with a friend, I log into a class that I'm taking, or I write some more, some more, or I may take one off coaching session, but very rarely. Um, and read. That's my
Mm,
day
there you
every
go.
day.
You know, I love the fact that you end your day with reading,
Yeah,
because you also have to nourish the mind too. So it seems like
absolutely.
you have a pretty good balance. You get up in the morning, you nourish your system,
Mhm.
you move your body with yoga,
Yeah,
you bond with your child, and then you go in the office and you get whatever needs to get done. So
yeah.
it seems like you have a pretty balance, even though as a mother, women, mothers especially, are extremely busy, and you're able to really this is what I tell most mothers: you are super women, right? Because us
Thanks.
guys can't handle the same matter of activities as you can in terms of balancing family and work. So
Yeah, I think if I were to give moms advice out there, I
yeah,
don't know, this is like we're getting off topic now,
no,
but
no, no. Go
um
ahead, go ahead. Please
yeah,
share.
it's I really think that for me it comes down to limiting my expectations of myself. Like I like to make
Okay,
my bed every day, but I don't get mad at myself if I don't.
okay.
Like I like to there's certain things I like to put into place, but I'm very compassionate with myself on the days that I fall short, which helps me get up and do it the next day instead of being like,
Mm,
oh, feeling bad about it. Um, and I really think the most important thing as a mom, especially a mom of toddler, is just having a high degree of emotional regulation. There's very little that can upset me or stress me out when it comes to my kid. I
okay.
don't get frustrated with her hardly at all. And it's just because I have a high sense of like, even when she screws up, it's kind of funny to me, and I
Yeah.
feel like the humor diffuses that stress. And I
Okay.
try to make sure I'm never in a hurry. I feel like being in a hurry just adds that
That's
extra layer
key
of
right
stress.
there.
Yes, it can
Mm-hmm.
make it so tough to try to get your kid in the car. And
Mm-hmm.
instead, when she's like, no, Grace, do it, I'll sit there for 5 minutes and be like, okay, I'm letting Grace do it anytime now. And it's funny. I just use it as entertainment, if anything. And that really helps a lot.
You know what? I love that. But the thing is, you have the tools, right? You have your team you have your wellness team to also help you stay focused, right? And be
Absolutely.
at ease and be at peace. Some people, they don't have that, right? And they tend to take their stress and bring it on to the family members. So what you
Yep.
have right now is a very balanced lifestyle. So everyone that's listening, that's a coach, that's a CEO or in middle management, start to take some advice from Sarah. All right, follow her. All right, and actually, so if someone were to inquire about your services or just want to connect with you, where can they find you, Sarah?
I mean, they can look me up on LinkedIn, Sarah Hodges of Hodges Coaching. I'm pretty easy to find. You can go to our website, hodgescoaching.com, and click on contact us and set up an inquiry meeting. LinkedIn's probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. Yeah. And
There
our
you
new
go.
website is coming out, though. So, couple weeks. Just check it out,
So,
hodgescoaching.com. It's going to be
so
gorgeous.
HodgesCoaching.com is this website. Not Sarah.
Yes.
Sarah Hodges, right? I know I butchered in the beginning.
Yeah, that
So
was
it's
bad,
just,
but
it's just,
really funny.
it's just HodgesCoaching.com. Okay, I'll make sure my team
Hodgescoaching.com is
put
yeah.
that in the show notes. All right, great.
Cool.
So Sarah, thank you for coming on board. Thanks for sharing your story and being so authentic. I appreciate you. Okay, as a person, as a coach, as a person that's making a huge impact, not only in people's lives but also in corporations. And last but not least, Sarah, how may I serve you?
Oh my goodness. Keep doing what you're doing, please. Like keep just paying it forward. The fact that you are turning this into you've turned this into a nonprofit, right? And you're helping children in other countries. I mean, I want to know how to do more of that. So if you were to serve me, I would want to learn how to do what you're doing to help more
Sure.
people in
Okay.
that way. Is that a
Yeah,
weird
definitely.
answer? You're looking like
No,
it's a weird answer.
no. It's not a weird answer. It's actually great because my
Yeah.
my goal is to spread the love of impact to others, and it seemed like
Yes.
you caught the bug.
Yeah, I want it. I want to learn how to spread impact to others too.
Awesome.
Seriously.
And thank you to all my followers, all our listeners, our viewers. Thanks for lending us your ears and your eyeballs. And make sure to stay tuned for next week's episode. Take care. Cheers. We're out.
Thank you.
Okay.